Today we're going to be talking about how the Law of 100 can help you on your daily journey towards building an amazing life as an online entrepreneur. You ready? Let's do this. Hey there gang, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jim and I'm a lawyer turned YouTuber who helps aspiring entrepreneurs to become legitimate CEOs so they can build amazing knowledge businesses and live a life of freedom. Freedom of time, freedom of money, and freedom of location. Now, what we're going to be talking about today is the Law of 100. And this is something that is going to work for you regardless of whether you're building an audience on Twitter, maybe you're building a YouTube channel, perhaps you're building a blog, or maybe even you're building a brand new podcast. If you are just getting started on this journey towards building an income online, you may be stuck in a place where you aren't sure what to do first, what platform to focus on, or perhaps you have a bunch of ideas of things that you would like to do, but you're one of those people who likes to map out everything step by step from A to Z before you get started. Is any of this resonating with you? Today we're going to be talking about how something called the Law of 100 can be used to allow you to achieve bigger results in your online business in less time by focusing on the activities that truly matter and truly push the needle forward in your business. Before we get started, I do want to point out that I understand why it's so hard for you to get started. I've been there. And the reason why it is so hard to get started is because you know, or honestly, you believe that if you fail at this, and this is building that online business that you've always dreamed of, that you're going to be forced to stay at your day job. Maybe you think that you're going to be accumulating a lot of debt that you're not going to be able to pay off. Or maybe you're just plain scared of failure, whether your brain will let you believe that or not. But the last thing you want is to be looking back in the mirror at yourself 5 years from now and saying, man, I really wish I had started that business way back then when I was thinking about it. So what I'd like to do today is I'd like to share with you a concept called the Law of 100. This is a phrase that I learned from another online entrepreneur named Noah Kagan, who talks about the idea that it's the activity that you do on a day-to-day basis that is so much more important than the quality of the activities. And I just want to stop for a second here to interject something on my personal opinion on this. I will say I've had a lot of students in my monthly membership who have really struggled with this, who have really felt like what they needed to do in their online business is make everything absolutely perfect before they launched. And so I've talked to countless other individuals who have been going through these same issues and they're just failing to launch. And the reason they're failing to launch is because they think that everything has to be perfect and planned out ahead of time before they actually do something. And I'm here to tell you that that is not the right way to do it. So let's get back and share more about how the Law of 100 can help you to overcome these mental roadblocks. If you wanted to go build a YouTube channel, I'm just going to use this as an example. There are really two ways to do that. The first way is you could go out and you could research what it takes to build a YouTube channel. You could buy a course on how to build a YouTube channel. You could start scripting and recording a video for your YouTube channel. And you could spend months and months and months, and I actually know people that have done this, trying to come up with the absolute perfect video to put onto your channel as that first video. Or you could just go out there, pick up your phone, and start recording videos and upload 100 videos as quickly as you possibly could. Now let me ask you a question, and I think you probably know the answer. Which channel, if you went by the first method, which is trying to come up with the absolute perfect video to put on your channel after doing months and months of research and study on how to build an amazing YouTube channel, would that channel do better, or would the channel where you put as many videos on, presumably up to 100 videos on that channel as quickly as possible, which channel do you think would do better? Comment below and let me know. I'm curious, I legitimately am very curious to see what you think about this subject. Now, my opinion on this, and the opinion of Noah Kagan, who came up with the Law of 100, is that the individual that goes out and puts 100 videos on their channel as quickly as possible is going to have profoundly more success than the person that spends months trying to craft the perfect video to put on their channel. And there's an interesting reason why. It's because even though most of those 100 videos on that channel where you're posting a lot of content are gonna be absolute crap, and trust me, your first 50 to 100 videos, if you're building a YouTube channel, they're gonna be crap. It's the process of scripting, filming, editing, and publishing those 100 videos on YouTube are gonna teach you so much about how to build a successful channel on YouTube and what works and what doesn't work towards building that channel. While you're working through those 100 videos, you're gonna learn a tremendous amount about yourself. You're gonna start to refine what your actual goals are from your channel, and you're gonna clarify what you want out of your channel and who it is that you're gonna be serving. But not only that, you're going to receive a ton of feedback from the people that are watching your videos in the form of comments, maybe emails, perhaps tweets if you're into that sort of thing. Not to mention, YouTube is gonna give you all the analytical data to show you what's working and what's not working on your videos. This is gonna allow you to evaluate what is and isn't working so that you can focus on doing more of the things that are pushing the growth of your channel and cut out the things that are actually hurting your channel. Now, I'm obviously using YouTube as an example today, but this really could be anything in terms of an online business. We could be talking about your first 100 blog posts, your first 100 tweets, your first 100 podcast episodes, or yes, your first 100 videos on YouTube. So you might be wondering, Jim, this all sounds well and good, but how do I make this work in practice? Well, I've got some tips for you. I think I need to get a cup of, you know what time it is. Need some coffee. Back at coffee today. I was in tea for a little while because I wasn't feeling well. We're back at coffee. Today is the Grandfather Mountain mug. Here are 7 things that you can do to put the law of 100 to work for you today. And the first thing is that you need to make it a daily habit. You need to stretch that muscle that gets you in the habit of doing whatever it is that you need to do 100 times to reach more success with your chosen platform. And you need to do that every single day. Even if it's for just 5 or 10 minutes a day, you need to focus on building that muscle every single week. Which leads us to step number 2, and that is that you need to actually set time on your schedule to work on your law of 100 tasks. You need to build a system that works for you to push you towards your goals. Now, maybe it's a recurring task reminder on your phone, or perhaps if you use a Notion like I do for daily journaling, you have a synced up task list that gives you the same list of tasks that you do every single day, so you remember to check it off before the end of the day. Or perhaps you block off some time on your calendar every single day to work on these activities that are going to drive your business forward. Whatever it is, you need to create a process or a system to make sure that you focus on these activities on a regular basis. And so number 3 is that you need to hold yourself accountable. And the way I recommend doing this is by tracking your progress every single week. So one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm actually using the 12-week year. And the nice thing about the 12-week year is it maps out activities that I need to do every single week that are pushing me towards my goals. And if I don't finish those activities, it shows up on the following week as a big red line that says you did not do this activity next week. So it reminds me that this is something that I dropped the ball on and I need to keep working on. Another way to do this is through daily journaling. So like I mentioned before, I like to use Notion in my day-to-day workflow. And one of the things that's nice about Notion is you can set up templates. And so I actually have a template set up for my daily journal, which prompts me with a series of questions that I can answer every single day as I'm going through when I journal in the morning and then again when I journal in the evening. That's a great way to hold yourself accountable. You know, you can put something in there that says, did I, work on my law of 100 tasks today? And it's a yes or no question. So you want to make sure that you find a way to hold yourself accountable. Some other ways you can do this are through tweets. You can tweet what you're working on. This is a great way to not only build your audience online, but to post publicly what you're working on so that other people can keep track of what you're doing as well. Or you could use your spouse or mentor or one of your friends or somebody else and let them know what it is that you're working on and ask them to follow up with you in a week and ask if you actually did the things that you said that you were going to do. It's just that simple. It's just a simple question. So it doesn't have to be anything major, but you could use somebody like that to help you provide some accountability to you moving forward. And no matter which technique you use here, the process is as simple as proclaiming, here's what I did during the last week, and here's what I plan to do in the following week. And just continue that process, post once a week, and let people know what it is that you're working on and what you've accomplished. Which leads us to the next helpful tip, which will be to join a group of like-minded entrepreneurs who are also working towards similar goals as you. I've created a private Facebook group that can be used for accountability. You can use it to post what you're working on, you can use it to post what you've accomplished, and you can use it to network with other online entrepreneurs to figure out what it is that they're working on. I'll include the link down in the description below. It's completely free. Feel free to request access and then post what you're working on there. That's a great way to do it as well. Now, the fifth way to implement the Law of 100 is to make sure that on a regular basis, I would say at least once a week, you're reviewing what it is that you're doing. So aside from just holding yourself accountable, you want to make sure you're looking back and saying, okay, my goal is to post 100 blog posts or 100 videos or 100 whatever it might be by this date. What did I do this week? Am I still on track to hit my goal? So you want to make sure that you're reviewing what you're doing on a weekly basis. Pay attention to the things that are working with what you're doing and pay attention to the things that aren't working. That way you can change up your routines moving forward, iterate, and make things better as you move towards your ultimate goal. Now, the sixth tip I have for you is to take a break at times. You know, it might be that you fall into a rut where you're just struggling and you're having a hard time and maybe you overwhelmed yourself at the beginning and you just need to take a break. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you need to take a break, do that. Now, what I would caution you against though is to not take a break of too long a period of time. Because if you step away from a project for too long, and by too long, I usually mean like a week. I wouldn't let a week go by without doing any activity. Then it becomes easier and easier to not do that project, to not work on that project anymore in the future. I had this issue last week where I was sick and so I was unable to post a YouTube video. I have to tell you, it was very hard for me to get back into the routine of posting a YouTube video this week. Partly it is because I'm still a little bit sick, but part of that was also because last week I didn't post a video, my YouTube channel didn't die, and so in the back of my brain I'm thinking, oh, maybe I don't need to post a video this week, but I do. My goal is always to post one video per week, and so here I am recording this week's video. And lastly, make sure that you celebrate your wins. So after you hit a milestone like your first 25 blog posts or 50 or whatever it might be, you want to make sure you celebrate that. It's really important that you celebrate your wins. You need to have something to look forward to. So once you hit those initial goals, make sure, whether it's something small like I'm going to treat myself to a nice dinner out with my spouse, or maybe it's something like, I'm gonna take off this Friday, I'm not gonna do any work this week after I finish this goal. Whatever it might be, make sure you treat yourself and celebrate those wins because it's so important for your mental health to get time away from your business and celebrate the accomplishments that you've made over the past several months. What you're gonna find over time when you do this is that you're gonna start to see a transformation take place. You will start to see the fruits of your labor and you're going to get some positive feedback letting you know that you're moving in the right direction. So this is going to create what I call a positive feedback loop. The more content you produce, the more positive feedback you're going to get. The more positive feedback you're going to get, the more you're going to want and be driven to produce more content. And it's going to start the flywheel going, and eventually it's going to become unstoppable. If you liked today's video, you're going to love this custom playlist that I put together right over here that contains some of my most popular videos about starting and building a business online. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.